Namo Buddhaya. A king wanted to write down a quote on his sword to not to be too much happy when he wins and to not to be too much sad when he loses. Now this king found out that his mind gets too much obsessed when he wins and his mind gets too much obsessed when he defeats. So he gave this job to write down a quote on his sword to his mentor. So the mentor thought for a while and he simply wrote down these amazing 4 words on his sword. It said, "This too shall pass." I'll repeat it again. This too shall pass. See, when we live in this world, there are worldly conditions that we have to experience in this world. The Buddha named these worldly conditions as 8 worldly conditions, Atta Loka Dhamma. In Dutiya Loka Dhamma Sutta, the Buddha explains this, that because the whole world revolves around 8 worldly conditions. And the 8 worldly conditions revolves around this world. What are these 8 worldly conditions? The Buddha explains that gain and loss is a worldly condition, and praise and blame is a worldly condition, and fame and disgrace is a worldly condition, and pleasure and pain is a worldly condition. So these are the worldly conditions that we go through and we experience in all of our lives. Now the problem is not having to go through these all worldly conditions. The problem behind this is our minds get too much obsessed with these worldly conditions. When we win, our minds get too much attached to it, and we forget that this victory won't last forever. And when we lose and when we defeat, when we fall down, our minds get too much obsessed with that defeat, and we think that this defeat, this sadness, this suffering will last forever. But in reality, all good things come to an end, and as well as all bad things come to an end. Nothing lasts forever. So how can we live by not being attached to this winning and losing, and not being attached to any kind of these worldly conditions? Now Buddha shows us the way to not to be attached to any kind of these things. The way to do that is to simply understand the nature of all these conditions. What is the nature? The nature of all the worldly conditions is they are subjected to change. Right? When you win, it is subjected to change. When you lose, it is subjected to change. And it is impermanent. Simply, you can remind it to yourself that this too shall pass. Okay? When you hit the rock bottom, when you go through problems, when you go through difficulties in your life, just remember to yourself that this too shall pass. This pain, this suffering too shall pass. And when you win, and when you're happy, and when everyone cheers for you around you, always remember to yourself that this is not going to last forever. This too shall pass. That is one of my favorite quotes that I read recently. It says, "When you win, you are not good as you think you are. And when you lose, you are not bad as you think you are." So when you win, everyone will cheer to you, everyone will congratulate you, everyone will say good things about you, but always remember, you are a man. You are a human. You are imperfect. And everything is subjected to change. Now, this does not say that you should not enjoy winning. You should not enjoy victory. You can enjoy victory. You can be happy about it. But simply understand this winning, this victory won't last forever. And when you lose, you have to remember to yourself that you are not bad as you think you are. You can learn from your mistakes, you can learn from your fails, and you can always improve yourself and always think that this is not going to last forever. This pain is not going to last forever. By simply understanding that everything is subjected to change, nothing is permanent in life, will help you to achieve a happier and more fulfilling life by not being attached to any kind of these extremes. When you win, do not be too much attached to it. And when you lose, do not be too much attached to it. Then you will be happy. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to another video. In today's video, we are going to discuss about another good quality that we all need to practice in our life, but we often forget this to practice. Now, what is this? It is called mudita. In another word, it is called appreciative joyfulness. What do you mean by this mudita? Mudita is the ability of being happy when you see someone else's happiness. For an example, let's say you're on social media and in the same time you're having a bad day. Now, when you scroll down, you see these nice pictures of people enjoying their life, living the best days in their life, being happy, and you're not having that life currently. In that case, what do you feel? First, the first thing that we feel is we feel down about ourselves. We think like, my life is terrible, my life is worse. Okay? And the next step is, for some people, they feel a little bit of angry about those people. And that is called envy. Okay? So the Buddha teaches us to practice mudita to avoid jealousy in your mind or avoid envy in your mind. Okay? So how to do that? This is a very simple practice, but to get used to it is very, very difficult, because for a long time, for a long period of time, we have practiced this envy in our mind. Okay? You know, the nature of mind is the more we practice something for a long time, it gets normal. Okay? It gets easier. That is why we are so good at these evil things like, you know, being angry, okay, being jealous, being distracted, okay, and being envious on others. That is why we are so good at those things. The Buddha teaches us to practice as a daily practice this practice of mudita, being happy on other people's happiness. Okay, let's say now you're seeing someone who is better than you, okay, more successful than you, more pretty than you, more clever than you. Let's say you're seeing someone like that. The first thing that you have to do is you have to wish the well-being of them, right? Think like, may they be successful even more. May they be happy even more in their life. You have to wish this from the bottom of your heart. You have to mean it and you have to feel it. Okay? When you do that, you feel happy. Okay? You don't feel the discomfort of envy. And also, in the same time, when you generate these mudita, thoughts of mudita, you generate a huge power in your mind to heal your mind and to be successful in your personal life. Okay? That is the power of mudita. Being jealousy, being envy on someone's life will never help you to be successful. Okay? Will never get you anywhere. One of the things that my teacher has taught me in my life is that don't be jealousy on someone's life, because jealousy will never help you to be successful. Okay? Jealousy will never help you to thrive and be more productive. And it will keep you in the same place, okay? Without being successful, keep you in the same place, and it lets you to be angry on other people. So what we have to do, whenever we see some people who are better than us, we have to think that may they be better than us even more. Okay? May they be happy in their life even more. And that is called mudita. Okay? You can do, and you can start this practice from the people who are around you. Okay? There are people around you in your home, in your family. Start from them. Okay? Wish the well-being of people around you. Okay, wish the well-being of your neighbors, your people who are in your city, your classroom, your school, your country. Okay, if you can spread those thoughts of mudita, you try and say this, you will feel much better in your heart. Okay, even when you feel down, and even when you are in your bad days in your life, you can be happy about your life because you are not comparing your life to other people. The reason why we feel jealousy and envy in our mind is we are constantly comparing our life to other people's life. We are so good at that. The more we compare our life to other people's life, the more we feel down about our personal life. Okay, so this is not something that we have to do. Okay, we instead of harboring jealousy and envy in our mind, the Buddha teaches us, practice the thoughts of mudita. Be happy on seeing other people's happiness. When you practice this, you will feel a big difference in your mind. Okay, and you will feel a big success in your personal life. So remember, mudita is the best medicine for the envy and jealousy in our mind. Namo Buddhaya.